welcome to another episode of Northern Ruckus. I'm here with my boy
Jimmy Prime, man. Let's go.
Yes, sir, and it's Big Teej. So last week, everybody liked the Would You Rather game, so I thought we would think of another question to bring up because, hey, if it ain't broke, why fix it, right? So this week, I like this one. I found this on Reddit again. Yeah, bro, it's a funny one. It's just something like I like thought provoking ones because it's like I feel like my answer will be very, very, very different from yours. So it's would you rather have a photographic memory or have the ability to forget anything at any time?
It depends on what your occupation is, man, or what you've seen in your life.
Bro, like think about my thing is I personally would go with be able to forget anything at any time because it's like. Outside of school, for photographic memory is just whatever. It's just a party trick at that point.
Mm-mm.
You don't think so?
No, what if you're a detective?
But so you're trying to be an
like the world's greatest detective. No, like not like
Jimmy the
not like an officer detective. Like when people's like family members go missing and stuff, and they call me up,
like a private detective,
like a private eye, like, with the photographic.
Bro,
memory.
There's literally TV shows of that shit, and it's like those guys don't even seem that cool. Like
I would be Sherlock Holmes.
Yo, bro,
Sherlock Holmes.
Think about like all those times you're just sitting at
Sherlock.
home and you're bored as shit. Imagine you could just forget your favorite TV show and start it again from episode 1. Brand new.
Nah, see that right there. What you're talking about is wasting time. So it's about like even that's a good reason to have that. Or like, let's say you went to war, or like you walked in on your parents or something like that. Like that would come in handy. But for me, I don't want to forget nothing. I'm good. So I would just rock with the
photographic what about
memory.
just like listening to your favorite album for the first time again? Like, bro, think about all your firsts that you can relive, and it's just like over and over again. You know how amazing that shit is.
You just want to chase the dragon.
Yeah, bro. It would be better than any drug. It's like
imagine having sex again for the first time.
Shit like that.
Doesn't apply to this guy.
Bro, imagine you begged a beat thing and you're just like, hey, whatever. I don't even remember it's the next day type shit. Like, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, fam, like certain things is easy for me to push to the back of my head too. So maybe
but it's
that's
like
why
you push it to the back, but you still remember it.
Nah, just don't think about it. Keep it moving. Keep pushing.
So you're taking the photographic memory?
100%. 100%.
Bro, this guy's a weirdo.
Nah, fam. What do you mean?
You're an op over here.
Nah, you're crazy. You can be remembering stuff you're not supposed to, man. You see something quickly you're not supposed to, you never forget it. Be blessed.
All right, well, yeah, that was our Would You Rather for the week. If you guys ever want to submit your own questions, like we'll be glad to answer any just fun, icebreakers to start off the pod.
DM the page, DM me, DM whoever, man.
Yes, sir,
all right,
yes,
so
sir.
I got on the spirit of Would You Rather, I got another one for us. Like you see all the time these cases in America, teachers sleeping with students. And come on now, we all know as men, it's like, bro, why are you coming forward, bro? Like, even if that was my friend, I'd be like, why, dog, what are you doing? But it got me thinking, why are some of these kids coming forward? Because if you see some of these teachers, it's like, okay. But in some of the teachers, you're like, yeah, I would say she molested me.
Nah. Nah, bro, you have to think about it like, yo, you're what? Like, these kids are like 15, 16 in high school.
I say on average they're 15.
Bro, if you're in high school just begging an older girl, it's like, yo, you're bragging about it no matter what she looks like.
This is the thing that it's funny, bro, because I've been through this where sometimes you bag a chick and like when dudes are 15, 14, 16, they'll just be jealous and they'll see you bag a chick, they'll be like, oh, she's beat. So, like, it's like, yo, I slept with Miss Parsons, right? And then the dude would be like, Miss Parsons? Ew. She's old as fuck. Nigga, you nasty. Start going in on you. And he'd be like, now that I think about it, dog, I was molested.
Bro, nah, I don't know about that.
What is
it's
the
like,
reason?
I feel like people are, it's more of like an accomplishment. Like, you took it down type shit. So it's like you're bragging in the sense that like, yo, I did that. Rather
you
than
want public notoriety?
No, not even public. It's like you're talking with your boys. I'm not saying you're blasting on school, but it's like, yo, I was also thinking, there's mad teachers that like if you think back at like or go back to school or look at old pictures of like being like the hottest teacher in school, they weren't even that hot.
Nah.
Like I remember at Northern, we had Miss Khan. She was like a student teacher. Everybody thought she was bad. She had a fatty and shit.
Shout out to Miss Khan.
She had a fatty and shit, and it's like, bro, she wasn't that bad. She was just a pretty girl. Like she was like
environment. That's why certain girls
and you're
that
also
are
like a bunch of horny teenagers.
Yeah,
and shit.
Slightly above average girls will hang out with ugly girls to make themselves look better, right? But I remember my school, Miss Langiel, she had a fatty. Miss Langiel, if you're out there, what up?
I feel like any young teacher got attention from all the students just because, like, why would you want to be looking at some 16-year-olds when you could be looking at some 25, 30-year-olds, right? What do you mean?
Oh, this is the one? Okay, so look.
Let's go one by one. Let's go from the very top, one by one.
That one, that's back in the
data
days.
picture.
What year is that?
I don't
Did she
know.
do
Data
that? She did
picture.
that back in 1954. She
Alright.
started the trend.
I would still clap though.
Is this in order from who did it?
The most
Oh, the most
famous. How do you
famous
get
ones. Yeah, because
famous for
she
the-
started the trend. She for sure. Bro, that looks like it's like she looks like Betty Lou Who or something like way back in the day.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's just all young
Okay,
teachers. Like the first one's cute.
The first one, I will give it to her just because she's from a different era. It's
Yeah.
vintage. So I can't. What am I to say? Of course I would. But the next three is like, nah, they look like semi-drug users. Like, they're
Nah, you're
lit.
crazy. Number 2's bad.
Number 3 for sure looks like she smoked crack before. Like 100%, at least one time. A lot of them just look like they don't have their shit together. But look, see number 12 there?
Mhm. Yo, let me ask you
that
then.
one I would keep to myself. But I'm saying so far out of 12 of them, 10 of them I would have said, yeah, she.
No, you're telling your boys. You're capping. You're
I would tell my boys, and then my boys would say, oh, she's kind of beat. And I'd be like, you know what? You're right.
But yo, what's it called? Let me ask you a question now. Let's say we go 10, 15 years from now. Your son's in school and he comes home and you hear rumors.
Yeah.
Your daughter comes and says, "I'm hearing that your brother slept with
The age-old
He
dilemma
slept
as
with,
a father,
Miss-
right?
Miss
Honestly,
Smith.
bro,
Would you get mad?
I'll put on a front for my girl. I'd be like, oh, that's wrong. Da, da, da. But with my son, I'm just like, bro, like, did she come on to you or did you come on to her? Like, how did it go? I'm like, oh, good shit, man.
You're gonna say that?
Yeah,
You wouldn't be
cracking
cheese at a
shit.
teacher.
No, you're cracking
As
shit,
a dad,
bro.
you wouldn't be
I'll
mad.
only be cheese at her if she was disgusting.
All right, but how young is too young then?
For my son,
Yeah, like
I would say 14, 15, depending on how.
so.
he's
As long as
aging.
he's in high school.
Yeah. Below that is like, lady, I know that he probably wanted it too, but you're sick. Like,
Bro,
you're sick in the head.
There's some
like,
crazy ones. Like I've seen one where this teacher was in a relationship with a kid from 11 to 16, 5 years.
Yeah, see,
It's
like,
like,
and
bro.
stuff like that. That's like, that's crazy because it's just like, as a father, you be like, I know my son doesn't have the capacity, but on a personal level, you be thinking back to when you're 11, you be like, damn, I was horny as shit when I was 11.
Bro,
I
my
wish.
nephew's 11 right now, and he's like 12, 13.
Everyone
But it's
age
like-
is different, right?
But I'm saying, like, bro, the maturity level is just like, how?
yeah,
Like, how do you do that?
But I look back at myself when I was 11, and
No,
I
stop
was
this.
moving different.
You weren't moving.
I was moving different. Not like a grown man, but like I said, I was horny and shit. Like I
no,
used to
of
think
course
about
you're gonna be
bitches all the
moving
time.
horny because like that's just hormones and shit bouncing off the walls when you're that age.
Oh yeah, like the maturity level, fam. Yeah, no, not at all. Even a 22-year-old guy isn't mature enough to talk to a 30-year-old woman.
Bro,
so
what
how
if-
the hell could a 12-year-old guy be?
How you
Let's be
gonna
real.
How you gonna be playing with action figures with your boys and then be telling them that you begged your teacher? Like, come on,
Right?
bro, that's
this
wild.
is what I did to her.
Yeah. Like, that's just wild.
I had
like,
her like this,
bro. And the
Nah.
crazy thing to me is like everybody wants to say the Catholic Church is like the biggest pedophiles in the world because you have all these priests touching little boys.
I
And
mean,
it's
they
like,
are. Well, who's your counter to that? Who's bigger?
teachers teachers.
Oh yeah,
there's more
the
sexual
female
harassment.
teachers in America are giving the Catholic Church a run for
There's
their money.
more
for
sexual
sure.
assault and harassment cases from
this is
teachers
the whole
to
thing, though.
student than priest to thing.
Even as I said, as a parent, like, bro, like, you don't worry about your sons the same way. And that's why when people talk about, oh, it's all the same, why can a man do this? No, it's like, bro, like, I remember myself as a child, and, like, I could see, like, my daughter and how she carries herself. And it's like, my daughter needs to be protected. And it's like, me, if anything, if me getting exposed to some shit probably would have given me a wake-up call, like, oh, I'm not as grown as I thought I was with the maturity thing, like you're saying, right? Especially with young men, when they sleep with an older woman like that, it's funny because some of these women's feelings get attached too, but like a man usually doesn't. But when you're that young, you're gonna get attached. You're gonna get attached to the woman, like when you sleep with her and you're 11 years old and she's
Oh, for
like
sure,
30
because that's
years
your
old.
first and shit.
Yeah, you're gonna
like,
be
you know what I mean?
clingy.
Young love in that. Young love is an actual thing. But
Realistically,
not-
you would never grow out of that. Because think about how many times have we seen it that even after the woman goes to jail, she comes out and they get married and shit.
But not even just
'Cause that's
that.
grooming, really.
Yeah, 100%. That's the definition of grooming. But now you're not even allowed to say that on like some Instagram and Twitter and shit because they say that's like they take it as a negative towards pedophiles and transgender people. So it's like
I wouldn't say transgender people. I think just
no, because
pedophiles.
the conservative movement would push the fact that
Oh yeah, they try to
they're
group it all
grooming
together.
them, so they're grouping it all
That's what I say
together.
all the time, bro. With divide and conquer, I
Yeah.
feel like they try to like they put words in your mouth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they put words in your mouth to make it seem
They
like you're
change
on
meanings.
this side.
Yeah, they change
yeah,
meanings.
like oh, this group of people, this is their intentions, and it's like we're all individuals. Like
Yeah.
you can't tell me what my intentions are as an individual. Like that's weird. Like
Nah,
off
for
top,
sure.
you know?
But I like the thing about these teachers too that I never understood is like how can you have so little social life that you're talking to 15-year-olds? It's
I
like
think-
that's crazy. Like girls, like like, again, I'm not a girl, so I'm only speaking from a guy's perspective. But I feel like if a girl wanted to get laid, it would be very easy for a woman to get laid.
It should be.
Doesn't matter how attractive you are or not. If you were desperate, you could. Like,
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Let's unpack that. What you said.
But
That's
like,
so true.
But
that
it's like,
so true.
it's like, why a kid? That's the fucked up part.
But this is the
me.
thing, though. We say with women like, oh, it's so easy, da 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 da. But doesn't mean that the bitch can't still be a loser and just not want to be social or can't be social. Like she knows she's weird as fuck. Like dudes her age pull up on her, turn her off because they're just trying to size up her life, and she doesn't like her life being sized up by someone who could see how shit her life is. The same thing that dudes who are pedophiles are doing, right?
Yeah.
So it's like this girl is really a loser. Doesn't matter how she looks, really. Guys are so stupid. Like, oh, she looks banging, but it's like the bitch is a loser. She slept with a little kid, you know. But it's
like
just
an actual loser.
Yeah, but
it's like we clown
with guys though. Like male teachers know that it's a serious line. Like you would never cross that line as a male teacher unless you're some type of sick, deluded. But I think for the women, it's more like a gray area. They feel like they can get away with a lot of shit because women do get away with a lot of shit. And
yeah,
it's a sentencing on these cases.
But there's like 6 months and shit sometimes.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy. But it's like if someone ever was to do that's like my daughter or my niece or something, bro, I would like absolutely throw hands with this guy.
Yeah,
you know
100%.
what I mean? Like there's not
like
court hearing or not. Like,
I don't know about throwing hands. There's gonna be sharp objects involved.
Yeah, it's just like. I don't know. It's
and that's another. Hold on.
But there are social
can
double
I say it
standards.
too? That's another reason why the male teachers know not to fuck around because they know you'll get murdered for that.
Yeah, you're not just dealing with the court cases.
These females, what are they thinking? Like maybe the mom will want to fight them. Maybe no one wants to kill these women. Like you know, and that's the type of consequences that men have to deal with. Not to say that. Nothing about this is right. I'm just saying the consequences for men and women doing it is there's way more gravity if you're a man doing it. Like your life is definitely at risk.
I also think like I don't know. I don't even want to get into that again. But like I was saying, like teachers are a weird job to even try to get into. It's
yeah. They're underpaid and they're overworked. Like when you said like, oh, how does she not have a life? It's like she's probably fucking grading papers.
Yeah.
Like looking at essays and shit. Like reading 1,000-word papers. Like that shit sucks.
Yeah, no, I feel that. All right, let's get into some headlines for this week.
All right.
Mr. Beast receives backlash for donating 20,000 shoes to kids in South Africa. What do you think about that?
There's gonna be backlash for everything, man. It sounds like he did something positive. How you could possibly take a negative from that just shows how negative you are.
Pretty much people are complaining, saying like, if you want to do something like altruistic, like don't post it online type shit.
Yeah, okay,
that's
cool.
the hate he's catching, and it's like,
for one, he's able to do it because he's posting online.
Exactly.
That's where the money to do it comes from.
It's on his philanthropy page.
And if he wants to do it his way, let him do it his way, and you should go do it your way. And shut the fuck up.
And
I'm just so sick of people having something to say about what everyone does, and it's not even constructive. Like, if he wants to do it, he should do it this way. He's doing it the way he's doing it, and what he's doing is not even easy to do. So how are you gonna knock him for what he's doing?
And it's like it started with the blind when he was curing the blind.
Yeah.
And it's like everybody was hating on it. It's like that's such a good thing to do. You don't have to post it online, but it's like the views that he gets for that YouTube video go straight to that organization.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's everybody with a brain knows that when you're doing taxes, you can either give it away or give it to the government. It's like, why not put it towards something that's positive and make money for that company? Every single dollar made off those videos goes straight to those organizations. He donates it right back to them.
Shout out to Mr. Beast, man. Honestly, this is something where it's just like I feel like, bro, like I understand what people are saying. Cool, they said it. They have the right to their opinion, whatever. But just like. Take a second, just to step back and think about what you do compared to what he does, and just like don't even talk.
You know that it's net positive. So regardless of a video or not, you know that it's a net positive.
I agree with it though, with doing positive things on camera. But even me myself, I've caught myself doing positive things on camera in the past before I really kind of put two and two together. People always got to remember this social media thing is new. How we interact with it is new. People are still figuring out what makes sense, what's a good thing to do, what's a bad thing to do, you know?
Yeah.
So obviously people are going to get caught up making mistakes. No one's perfect. So I've done things like that where it's like I'm trying to do good for people, but I put it on camera because I'm trying to also get some positive back from it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just like I'm not a saint. I'm not Mother Teresa, you know? So it's just like, fuck, when I come out of pocket and I go and spend $2,000 on some kids, it's like, fuck, well, let's at least get some promo for it, as bad as that sounds. And I'm just saying it's human, right? But that's me being actually super basic at it and pretty much what people are complaining about.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast isn't doing that. He's posting it so that he can get more money to do it again.
Yeah.
And do it again and do it again and do it bigger and bigger and bigger.
And bigger.
Like, it's just so weird, man. It's like, complain about the people doing weird shit like going up to homeless people with a camera in their face.
And
like,
saying, hey, you wanted $20?
Yeah, that
but
shit
even
is
then
despicable.
it's like that, yeah.
Oh, hey, buddy, like, you need some help, like you need a place to stay, like we're gonna get him on his feet, we're gonna do a GoFundMe for him and all this. It's like, come on, bro. Like that man is probably just hurting, bro. Like he's probably just hurting. Like he definitely doesn't want his face being out there. But to play devil's advocate, that GoFundMe shit sometimes goes viral, and life changes. But
Jackson Mahomes accused of assaulting a bar manager.
I see this is hilarious,
bro. That video was so funny, bro.
Hold on a scale from 1 to 10, how, not to hate on anybody except for Jackson Mahomes, but on a scale from 1 to 10, how gay did he look trying to kiss that girl?
Bro, he's a zesty ass nigga. A zesty ass nigga. Bro, I wasn't even surprised that he grips her like that. I was just more surprised that he's gripsing a girl. Like, bro, it's Jackson Mahomes.
See, when we talk about like the LGBTQ community and stuff like that, this is what I'm talking about, bro, where it's like,
but is he even in that community?
He's clearly not. But
Zesty's not a letter. There's no Z.
I'm saying he should feel absolutely no hesitation with being a part of that community if that's what he is a part of, because it's just like, bro, like getting drunk and trying to prove you're straight and stuff like that. I don't know if that's what happened, but that's kind of how I saw it.
But he doesn't know the camera's there. He's not gonna know that it's gonna go public. It's not like his friends recording this.
Oh, I don't think that he's doing it for the world. I think he's doing it for himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think like he's like, look at him. He's trying to prove like, oh yeah, like, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't want to comment too much because
it's mad aggressive.
Like all sexuality and all that stuff is private, bro. Like everyone do their own thing, but this is not private. He took it upon himself to go grab up this girl at her workplace.
Bro, she's 40 and married.
Yeah, that's
take
crazy.
That in. So it's like
she definitely was not giving him no
bro,
vibes.
she literally pushed it, and then his lawyer came out and was saying some shit like, "Oh, he's done absolutely nothing wrong." I'm like, like that's a weird stance to take, because it's like you could say he did nothing wrong, but it's like to double down on the fact that he grips the girl. The girl clearly pushes him away and shit. It's like
I'm surprised people these days, like with the legal ramifications, like people are always so quick to lawyer up, and it's just like, bro, you just come out with a quick apology about that and say I was out of line. Like we'll deal with this in court. People don't want to
deal with it in court. Yeah,
people don't want to. They don't want to, deniability and all this stupid shit. It's like, bro, like you know what you did was wrong.
I'm saying regardless of like if he apologized or not, that girl's gonna go and chase a bag for this, like obviously, because I didn't even necessarily.
She deserves a bag for that.
I don't think she deserves a bag, but it is.
Buddy, if Jackson Mahomes did that to me, I'm gonna need some bread. I would be
less surprised, to be honest. I would actually be less shocked.
I would be less shocked.
Bro, that's the first thing that came to my mind is like, yo, Jackson Mahomes is straight.
Yeah,
I was
and
like,
we sound like some homophobes, but honestly, I
thought I'm not hating at all. I'm just
we were
surprised.
All supporting him. Like a lot of people were out here supporting him in his TikTok dances, thinking that he was a part of something.
He was very well hated. Very well. Him and Patrick Mahomes' wife, they're very well hated in the football community. I always see people in the comments like, oh, like they're just having fun. Get off their back, like and it's like, yeah, you're right. Like let them live their life the way they want to live. And I agree. I don't think Jackson Mahomes should get no flack for making stupid TikTok videos. He should definitely get some flack for kissing that was aggressive
gross.
Neck grip.
Yeah, that was gross. Like,
first ever WNBA game in Toronto sold out in a day.
What did I just tell you the last episode? the episode 4. I said the WNBA needs to come to Toronto. I'm telling you, Toronto is the perfect city for a WNBA team. And maybe even Vancouver, too. We could do one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast, and then it evens out the conferences.
The conferences?
Yeah.
Apparently, this sold out within like 10 hours. Like
I believe it, bro.
Crazy.
I believe it.
And there is what you were saying, there is like a push for it, because I was looking into the story and I was like, is this even true? Because it sounded like cap. It's like Raptors can barely sell out a game. How are these guys doing it?
Well, we do 82 games a year, right? This is the first WNBA game here probably in over 10 years.
But well, what was I saying? Oh,
you thought it was cap?
No, yeah, I thought it was cap. So I was looking into it, and there is actually a movement called WNBA TO that is trying to get put pressure on the WNBA to bring a team to Toronto.
Yeah, that'd be dope, man.
So it's like that is in the works. So
lately,
it's like
I've been admiring like just female athletics from a different perspective and stuff. Like I'm just gonna get into it for a little bit here, just segue into it. Like a lot of dudes like to hate on the WNBA, and I really feel like that's like some weird energy, bro. Like especially as a man, it's like okay, like look at in 2K for example, right? They got my career mode for the dudes, right? And then they added the female version. In the female version, you can't dunk. No matter how tall you make her, how athletic you make her, she can never dunk, right? Fair enough, right? But if you look at it, all these fat, sloppy dudes that are 5'6", sitting at home playing 2K could never dunk in their life either. So why does he have the right to make his virtual avatar do a 360 through the legs and the female character doesn't? It's just stupid.
Nah,
it is just stupid,
let me
bro.
push back
Hold
on that, though.
Let me just say what I want to say first. I'm gonna say we need to be inclusive with the sports, and it's like, bro, when stuff comes to like digital stuff like that, bro, it's like the average dude and like an athletic girl, like the basketball that they're playing is not much different because you're not playing above the rim. It takes a supreme athlete to play above the rim. Those guys, maybe they could talk about how the WNBA is and all that, and for the most part, they really don't because it takes so much skill to do what these women do without the athleticism.
Not even skill, dedication is what I would say.
Yeah, but it does take skill, bro. Basketball is a skill-based game. Okay. It's not really that athletic, especially for the females. They're not dunking.
But what I was saying is like I feel like in all sports, not even just basketball, the reason why you watch it is because you want to see stuff that you can't do. Like, there's no sport that you watch and be like, yo, I can do that. Like, you'll never be watching a fight and being like, I can beat this guy up.
Badminton,
do you watch
curling.
badminton?
Yeah, when I catch it randomly.
This guy's capping.
But it's like channel surfing, I'll stop for like 10, 15 seconds on a badminton game,
like,
I swear.
When you hear arguments about can I play in the NFL, the question is usually like, could you tackle Derrick Henry one-on-one? And it's like,
no.
The majority of people will say no. And it's like,
majority of the people in the NFL can't do that either.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. So it's like you're asking people to do these unrealistic feats. That's what makes it look like, that's what makes the sport good.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like if
sure.
the skill, like for example, so my argument is the reason why the WNBA isn't good, like isn't popular, is because the people are watching the WNBA being like, I can play with these guys if I wanted to, or these women if they wanted to.
There's that new girl coming out who plays like Steph. And the way Steph plays is like, hey, anybody could do it, but like you said, you don't have the dedication. You're not practicing enough to do it.
No,
so
but it's like
that's another thing too. When they bring in more exciting players, like the game's still growing. A lot of these girls actually don't go to the WNBA because they end up having kids, and they're like, that's not even worth it. That bag is not worth it. I'm gonna just go and live my life the way I want to live it. It's because, like you said, that dedication, bro. It takes serious dedication.
No, but it's not even just that. It's like, think about like how many like kids are in college about. Like you always hear like these JJ Redick type guys who are the craziest scorers in college, but then they can never make it in the NBA because like
JJ Redick made it in the NBA.
No,
as a role player.
Yeah, as a role player, but he was supposed to be the best. Or who's the other white guy?
Supposed to be the best.
Niggas
know already.
Jimmer Fredette.
White boys from like Duke and shit, like. Duke is gonna be that's gonna be it, like Ralph LaFrance.
No, but think about Jimmer Fredette. Jimmer Fredette was the best player in college.
Jimmer Fredette was good, but he's a college player, bro. If you know,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Like you know that there's gonna be certain guys that ball out in college.
But that's what I'm trying to say. So it's like to have the skill and talent isn't everything. Like you have to be able to have the athleticism to compete in the NBA. So it's like
in the NBA,
you see a guy like that
in
not
the
even
NBA.
able
But
to
this is what I'm saying, bro. Like, okay, go watch like a men's league basketball. There's no athleticism involved, really. There's a couple guys high flying, but they're standing out.
I would argue if you go to Toronto's men's league game, they would be able to compete with the WNBA team.
Obviously.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, what I'm trying to say is like skill level is like, if I think that I can do what these people are doing, I have no reason to watch them.
Okay, well, you're a man.
When I watch the
NBA, what about a woman watching them?
Well, then that's the whole argument. That's what people always say. It's like there's just as many women on earth as there is men. Why aren't the women supporting the WNBA?
Oh, they're not as into
That's
sports
the Bill
as
Burr.
men.
It's a Bill Burr joke.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sure. But I'm just saying, as a man who watches sports, sometimes I like watching women's sports, bro. Especially when it's like cool females that like I see like they have drip and like they ball nice and like she's a little cool, like she has her own little thing. Like there's that girl right now at LSU. And she raps and everything. She has like a sick rap.
She raps?
Yeah, no, she's like a sick rapper. Like she like when she freestyles and shit, like it's dope. She's on the women's team. She's on the women's team. And she's super cool, bro. Like she's like a likable person. Like it makes you like, yeah, Flo J. Johnson. It makes you, or I think that's how you pronounce her name. But it makes you want to watch her and shit. Like she's super dope. Her brand is cool. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the WNBA needs more of. Don't forget, the NBA was dying before Magic and Larry.
No,
these guys had to come and rejuvenate the league. So all stars are gonna run the league at the end of the day. Stars, it needs star power. So,
I actually want to bring it to college sports for a second. So I don't know if you know, like this girl, Livy Dunn. She's the 5th highest paid NIL.
Show me her. What's her name?
Livy Dunn. She's a gymnastics LSU girl. So she's really famous on like TikTok and Instagram and shit. So it makes her the 5th highest paid person based off NIL deals. But she recently did she's bad. I'm telling you. Bro, so she recently did an NIL deal with an AI chatbot like ChatGPT, but it's made specifically to help kids with their homework in college.
That's it.
And then now she got an infraction for it. What do you think about that?
Really?
Yeah.
That
so they're
sucks.
like LSU, the school came out with a statement saying we don't support any of this, blah blah blah. Like all our students are going to be held at the highest standard if you're caught using any of this. She did a whole commercial for them and stuff.
She should have involved more people from the school.
What do you mean?
Like not the dean, but someone from the dean's office.
Oh, you like check,
to sign
to sign off
to pass it all through, to filter it all.
But I was thinking with the NIL shit, it's like I understand like how that can be a quote unquote conflict of interest, like because it's a college kid promoting cheating in college, but it's like it's a business paying somebody to advertise, and that's what the whole concept of the NIL was.
I don't want to get too much into that because there's a lot of like morality issues and stuff that we don't necessarily want to talk to. But yeah, I see how that can get complicated with the NIL deals. Just in general, like think about like what if like a gun company came to one of the student athletes and was like, we want you to support like to sponsor like the new Glock 15, like you know, like the conflict of interest. I'm sure the school wouldn't like that at the end of the day, right?
Yeah,
but what about Erica Fontaine? Does she have an NIL deal?
I'm sure all of them do. All these college people with like social media.
That's her name, right? The baddie from UCLA.
From UCLA, I don't know.
Put in Erica UCLA.
No,
I probably got her name wrong.
Yeah, no,
That's it right there. No.
Any of these
oh, she goes to West Virginia.
Any of these like Instagram people are making money in college now. That was the whole point of it.
Yeah, her NIL deal is probably crazy.
Yeah. No, bro, Livy Dunn is making like brownie numbers and shit.
Like,
yeah, she's bang.
We sound like some old niggas right now. Let's get that shit off the screen. Let's move on to the next.
Another headline: Ice Spice meets up with North and starts posting TikToks and stuff. What do you think about that?
I seen this. I'm so frustrated for Kanye because it's like, bro, I'm too rich for this shit to be happening, bro. Not to my little princess. Like, and why the fuck is her mom encouraging this shit? It's so fucked up, bro. This why, fellas, be careful who you have kids with. Please, please. If you know that you love God and you have morals, don't get with a girl who likes being a hoe. Not even that she is a hoe. She takes pride in being a hoe and has benefited off of being a hoe so much so that no one could tell her to stop being a hoe. That's like #1 world's top hoe. How can you tell her to stop hoeing? You can't tell her to stop hoeing. It got her this far. She's not going to stop for nobody. So it's just like, bro, be careful, man. Kanye, a lot of it is karma for Kanye, bro, because he knew better and he still went down that road. But it's like, at the end of the day, those are your kids. They're pure. Like, that comes from God, bro. God gave you those kids. So it's just like, it's sad to see, bro. It's sad to see, but at the same time, as far as North goes, she's just being a little kid. It's all innocent fun for her. It's not about the fun for her
and stuff. Yeah, that's just fun.
It's like, bro, like how many weird fucking pages do you think that little girl ended up on after that shit?
But my thing about that,
that's the stuff you worry about as a parent. Is like, it's not your kids' intentions. It's these weirdos out there like you're trying to protect your kids from. Like,
but my thing about this whole thing is like, it's not even just that it's like weird that she's on the internet, because she's on the internet, whatever. Kids are gonna do that. But Ice Spice doesn't make, like, I don't even want to say kid friendly, but she doesn't even make like music that isn't sexual. Like, you know what I mean? And how old's North? Like 8 years old, 9 years old? And it's like,
she is 9, but like she comes from like a musical family. I'm sure like Kanye, as much as he tries to put certain things in her head, I'm sure when it comes to creativity, he doesn't put any limits.
But think about the most like famous Ice Spice songs that North's probably hearing.
Munch.
Like that nigga Munch, or like she on my da da da, like, and I da da da, like, bro, like those songs are like,
I'll say this, like,
they're all overly sexual and shit.
I don't think this is too sexual for a kid to be listened to. Me personally, my daughter does not listen to that stuff. She listens to Dua Lipa, Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, stuff like that. But
that's where my problem was. I'm like, this is a very sexual person.
I agree with you. But like I said, Kanye's not putting no limitations on his daughter's creativity. He's letting her consume everything for sure. And I think back when I was a kid, that helped my creativity too. I used to consume everything. Bro, we used to watch Austin Powers. We were 8 years old.
Yeah.
All sexual jokes.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
Yes, the bitch's name is like Octopussy or whatever, and you got like Fat Bastard, and like, bro, it's all sexual innuendos in that movie. And like, even farther than that, we watched a lot of violence and like the music we listened to too, like Fantasy, Ludacris. I was listening to that when I was like 8, 9 years old. Like, no, I want to lick you from your head to your toe when I want to move from the bed down to the flow. Like, we were little kids singing that stuff. So it's like sometimes, and that's what you say with the overprotection. Our generation got a little overprotective, and it's like, bro, sometimes let these kids. I know it sounds stupid to say let them be kids when it comes to absorbing adult content, but it's just like, where do you draw the line? Well, you're gonna make them be a 14-year-old, go to school, and they're the dweeb, and everyone knows everything, and they're just all getting introduced to things through all the other kids, which you don't want either.
Well, no, because I can make that same argument with you, and it's like, you would never give your 10-year-old kid a phone, like, you know what I mean, that she can do whatever.
She is getting close to it. Harlow,
but it's like
Harlow next year will be getting a phone.
But it's like, again, it's like you're only getting her, like, you or getting her a phone because she wants it and her friends have it, but I wouldn't mind not giving my kid a phone because you know that there's so much negative ramifications for it.
For sure, but there's also positive ramifications. I could call my daughter when she's not home.
But you don't need a smartphone for that. Get a flip phone.
Obviously not, bro. But it's 2023. My daughter is wavy. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, bro. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna be Amish just to hold my kid back and keep her pure. Like, there's balance in everything, and like, trust me, bro. When I first started off being a father, it was hard for me to find that balance because you want everything to be perfect, But you got to think about yourself and the fact that do you always drink water or do you go for a soda sometimes because you like that little bit of enjoyment? You can't rob your kids of their pleasure and them knowing balance and light and dark and good and bad and let them see it for themselves. Of course, you got to stay with them. PG-13, parentally guide them through everything that they do.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're not letting them go through shit to guide them through, they're not going to learn how to live life and how to decipher between what's wrong and what's right and just experience things in general.
All right, we got a really funny headline here. You probably don't remember this guy's name off the name alone, but I'm going to show you the video in a second. But Alex Stein sues AOC for blocking him on Twitter. Do you remember this video?
Nah.
Oh, my gosh. Yo, play that for sure.
Suing someone for blocking you on Twitter is the craziest thing I ever heard.
AOC, my favorite big booty Latina. I love you, AOC. You're my favorite. She wants to kill babies, but she's still beautiful. You look very beautiful in that dress. You look very sexy. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina. I love it. My favorite AOC. Nice to meet you, AOC. Look how sexy she looks in that dress.
She is.
Woo, I love it, AOC. Hot like a tamale.
He's violating, though. He's violating.
So
I'm surprised that she doesn't have a security guard with her.
So, no, this is like right in front of Congress.
And
so
even hold on. Go back to the video, just the little thumbnail that it was. Look at the end there. The officer standing right there.
Yeah.
Bro, at the very least, I would have been like, hey, get the fuck out of here.
So, that's
like,
right
just walk up on them with your little hands in your vest, say, hey, keep it pushing. Like, these dudes don't be doing their job, bro. That's crazy.
So, like, essentially, like, what it is like, it's right outside of Congress. He's doing it clearly for a YouTube video because, like, he's a comedian. Yeah. And he's just
it was funny.
Bro,
but it wasn't
hilarious.
It was funny, but he's an idiot. Like, he made himself look like an idiot.
She's not your favorite big booty Latina?
Not my favorite, but she's on the list.
Yeah, so essentially he's suing her because she blocked him on Twitter, and apparently, like, public servants, because she's a congresswoman, isn't allowed to block their constituents. So
bro,
it's
whatever people say, bro, he clearly harassed her. Like,
bro, it's hilarious because like that was like in the summer. That was like 6 months ago.
He's really whack, and I hate to use this term, but when girls talk about little dick energy and shit like that, it's like this is pretty applicable here.
Nah,
like,
you're
the nigga's being a weirdo. This
guy's fully trolling. He's not being serious.
Yeah, but why are you trolling a woman? Like,
no, it's not just a woman. It's like he clearly like if I was to watch that video, especially with the abortion line, he's like the conservative side.
Okay, so
and he's just like trolling and trying to get a
politics,
reaction.
right?
Yeah,
so why is he calling her a big booty Latina? He's a white
funny.
guy. It comes off a little racist, a little fetishizing.
Yo,
yeah, bro.
Bugging,
bro. If a white girl doesn't like me and she waits outside for me at my workplace, talking about look at this big. Big black guy with his big dick and stuff like that. And everyone's laughing. It's like, yeah, it is kind of funny. I'm going to laugh it off. I'm going to go in the building, but I'm going to block her on Twitter and shit when I see her on Twitter 100%. Because, like, bro, like, you're trying to sexualize me, objectify me, and you're harassing me at my workplace? Nah. Come on now.
You're bugging this. But how is that racist? You just said that was racist.
Okay. What he's saying has, like, racist connotations to it.
Just because he says Latina?
Yeah, it's like stereotypical. A big booty Latina. She's not her booty's not even that big.
It
let's be real.
That's why it's funny. He's trolling.
Bro. That's like when you go on porno sites and you look up Latina, the first thing that's gonna pop up is a big booty Latina. And that's what I'm talking about. Bro, that's not funny, bro. If you look up black guy, what's the first thing that's gonna pop up too? But then go look up white guy and see what pops up. It's completely different.
What pops up for white guys?
It's gonna be something weird. Like it's gonna be like white guy gardening his flowers gets approached by middle-aged woman on a Tuesday. That's how their descriptions look, and our descriptions are like big black mandingo fucks the shit out of a black booty Latina, and it's like, bro, like we're not just sexual objects to be objectified whenever you feel. Like the fuck? How do you not understand that?
I think you're so out of pocket. I don't think any of it.
He's out of pocket. What are you talking about? I'm out of pocket. He's out of pocket.
He's trolling.
Trolling is being out of pocket. The whole thing of trolling, if you're a grown man and you're trolling, you're a loser.
Bro,
I don't know what to tell you.
Like you're saying, bro, so now you're saying people can't make jokes with any racial connotation.
No, I don't care about that, bro.
Like, that's crazy.
It's not like he's on stage at a comedy show. He pulled up to her workplace to crack jokes on her on camera. You just said he's trolling. I just said trolling is lame. I've never trolled anybody. Anybody that trolls people is lame as fuck. Like, why are you trolling people? Go get a life. Like, what the fuck?
Nah, bro, you're bugging, bro.
Let me be bugging then. We'll just
You're
agree to disagree.
bugging.
That's okay. Whatever. Agree to disagree.
I just think it's funny. Right
I
now,
laughed. I laughed. I did think it was funny. Like I said, if someone did that to me in the moment, I would laugh. And then when I see them on Twitter, I'll block them.
But you're not allowed to block them.
Hold on. So often people will say shit in my comments, and I'll laugh. Yeah. Like that dude in the comments the other day, he's like, bro, you have face tats and you sound like a white boy. I was like, that's pretty funny. Like, that is pretty funny. Like shit like that is like, you laugh at it, you chuckle at it, but I'm not about to be friends with this person or nothing like that.
Yeah.
I didn't block that guy specifically.
Exactly.
I didn't give a fuck.
Wait, why did you block him? Wait, why didn't you block him?
Because I'm a grown man.
No, because you knew he was fucking trolling.
I'm not a female. I don't have a vagina between my legs. Like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about, bro? Like, why do you think, nigga? Because I didn't give a fuck. I have thick skin. Maybe she doesn't. What the fuck?
Bro, I just think a joke is a joke. People need to stop taking jokes serious, bro. Like,
so if that was your mom and a dude was calling her a big booty Asian chick when she's going to work, you'd be cool with that?
Yeah.
If you were standing there, you'd be cool with that? You would laugh with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Tamika, show this to your mom.
Oh, man. The last headline, Tiger Woods, his ex-girlfriend sues him for $30 million. Did you hear about that?
Nah.
So
he has the bread, though. Just fork it up, Tiger.
So after, like, I'm pretty sure this is the girl that he was cheating on with his wife with.
But
They've been together.
This nigga is dumb rich. I get why she's coming for the bag.
They were together for like 6 years or whatever, and had NDAs and stuff signed, and so like he has all, like, she has no grounds to be claiming this, but now she's claiming that the NDA, she should be allowed to break the NDA because there was sexual harassment involved, and now she wants to sue him for $30 million so she can talk about it. I'm like, that's great, and it all happened because Tiger Woods got his assistant to break up with her.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Like,
that's fucked up.
He's like, just tell her to get out of the house before I come back. Type
bro,
shit.
The thing is like, bro, obviously you want to take the man side in most things, but it's just like, bro, with these super rich people,
not a wife or nothing.
I get that. It's just he's just so super rich where it's like, it's kind of like, for us, we can't relate.
Yeah,
like we can't relate at all. If anything, we could probably more relate to the girl because it's like, bro, if I was talking to some chick and she had $300 million and she tried to make me sign an NDA, I would be cool with it. But after the fact, I'm gonna try to find a loophole. Like, what do you mean? Like, if I'm with Oprah and I'm not even feeling Oprah like that, I'm just with her because she's rich like that, and she's trying to play me with all this paperwork and shit. Yeah, shit like that. Bro, people are buying love, so don't be too surprised when the receipt comes. Like that, as much as you put that paperwork in place and all that, you only did that because you knew she was only there for the money. Like, you did all that because you knew it wasn't no genuine stuff. Because, bro, if you're Tiger Woods, let's be real, it's hard to find genuine love. Yeah. You're probably never going to find it. You're never going to find it because who you are and the money you have, it doesn't even equate unless we're talking about golf. Unless we're talking about golf. But how you carry yourself as a man doesn't necessarily mean like you're some $400 million. What is his net worth? Like $600 million or something?
Probably
crazy?
something like that. But it's like, regardless of that, it's like a principle thing. It's like, you know, this is your girlfriend. You're gonna provide for her for the next 6 years. That's another thing.
Do you know that? Look at when Travis Kelce and his girl broke up. There was reports coming out that they were going Dutch on everything.
Well,
that's crazy.
That's crazy. I never even heard about
stuff like that.
Yeah.
When you hear stuff like that, you're like, real? No way, you're a millionaire and you did that, bro.
But regardless, it's like you shouldn't like. You're not entitled to someone's shit just because you're in a relationship with them.
I agree. I just don't knock her for trying to get her back.
Oh, okay. That's what you're saying.
This is her best opportunity to get a couple $1 million. Other than that, she's going to be regular for the rest of her life and be able to tell people that she used to date Tiger Woods. That's it. That's all she got from it, unless she gets some money out of it.
No, I get that. Yeah, so this next part I want to talk to you about, we can definitely go deep into this, but you saw that Colin Kaepernick clip?
Yeah, bro, I did. This shit made me, turn this shit off. This shit made me uncomfortable, bro. This nigga's been selling products, like, bro, it's crazy because I'm gonna start at the beginning. When Cap first started taking the knee, bro, I remember I was playing Madden and I was playing with this Southern dude, and he was like an old black guy from the South, and he was like, oh, well, I don't know about this Kaepernick fella. I mean, he's kind of like one of them little mulattoes that's more or less been acting white, and then now all of a sudden it's beneficial to him to be acting black, and he's acting black. And I was like, this nigga's kind of being a hater. Like, he's doing some shit for the civil rights. It's good, like, you know?
Yo, let me play this clip for you, just so people at home that never heard it yet.
Bernie embracing his blackness despite resistance from many, including his white adoptive parents.
I know my parents love me, but there were still very problematic things that I went through. I think it was important to show that, no, this can happen in your own home. and how we move forward collectively while addressing the racism that is being perpetuated.
He took cues from his icon, basketball star Allen Iverson, who he said wore his blackness like a suit of armor. And teenage Kaepernick wanted cornrows to match. He's getting what roles, his mom asked?
Oh, your hair's not professional. Oh, you look like a little thug.
Your mom said that to you.
Yeah. And those become spaces where it's like, okay, how do I navigate this situation now? But it also is informed why I have my hair long today.
The grown-up.
Can we turn it off, please? It's making me uncomfortable. Especially, I'm mixed too. Like, you know, it's just like, bro, like, for me to have as big of a platform as he is, after all this, to be calling out his adopted parents on some shit like this, is just really, like, spineless.
So let me just break it down real quick instead of just playing the whole clip out. But it's like, essentially, he says his adopted parents made the household problematic and a little racist because they didn't let him do things like have his hair braided. Mm-hmm. Like, that's to call two white people that picked you out of, like, let's say 1,000, maybe hundreds of other kids, picked out a young black or Mexican, whatever you want to call himself, kid out of this lineup, said, I'm going to raise you to be a nice, rich, well-represented young man, and you're going to go on to become a millionaire. And then that guy comes and turns around and says, my parents are racist because they never let me have braids. That's crazy. All just to sell a book, too. It's not like
I agree with you. I think he's wilding. But to speak on that, when a black person adopts a white kid, it's not viewed as this virtuous thing. I don't think that when white people adopt, like, colored children, whatever you want to call them, like Mexican,
POCs?
Black, Chinese, POCs, whatever, I think it's not a virtuous thing. And it should never be considered that. It's just that's how you want to build your family. And a family is a beautiful thing. And have your family the way you want it, for sure. For sure. And I'm not saying that he's right or he's wrong for the reality of what he's saying. I just think that for saying it, he's a weirdo. Like, bro, like, look at how far you came. Your parents clearly helped you get to where you were at in life. And to throw them under the bus like this, oh, man, I will never respect this man, bro. Already I was on the fence because the last few times that he's been saying that he wants to go to the NFL, it's just like, are you joking?
Yeah.
Like, are you actually joking?
He was saying it again in this interview.
He said he wakes up at 4 a.m. to go work out every day. Shut the fuck up. No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't. No, you don't. If you do, there's no receivers running routes for you. I'm not waking up every day to run with a nigga that's not in the NFL. What are you talking about, bro? Like, what are we talking about?
But, like, I get what you're saying by, like, picking up a POC out of, like, a line to raise as your own isn't virtuous.
It's not.
But you can never say, like, there would be never in a million years, other than a slave owner, that will pick a black kid out of all these other kids, and then you can claim that they're racist. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
you could, because hold on, stop.
The concept of racist means you don't like black people, regardless if they're yours or not.
Can I say something? Because in everything, there's full spectrums. Some people who do that are racist.
No, they're.
Listen, I'm not saying all of them. Of course, there's some people who do it, bro. There's some gay couples who go and adopt kids to rape them. There's extremes. Of course, it's not the majority.
That's what I'm trying
it's not the majority. I'm just saying there's a full spectrum in everything. Not every single white person who adopts black children is automatically not racist. That doesn't equate. That's not how that works. That's not how that works.
Wait. Let me say something. So I'm saying if you adopt a person of color child, and you're raising them positively, then yes, I would say every single person that does that raises a child as it is their own, and they want that child to strive as much as he or she possibly can.
What you said the first time, brother.
That's what I was essentially saying. Like, obviously, there's gonna be fucked up people that do fucked up things.
Yeah,
but I'm saying,
but not even on purpose. Some people do it on purpose. Some people do it
There's
by
no such
accident.
thing as someone that is trying to uplift a black person or a person of color that you can call racist. That is outrageous to me that people continuously do it over and over again.
Jerry Jones does it. Jerry Jones is racist.
How, like, you cannot call it, like, Jerry Jones is not racist.
Jerry Jones is for sure racist.
Oh my god!
For sure, if there was a white player
regardless,
that played
Jerry
just
Jones,
like all his black players do, he would go with the white guy.
I would say you can make the argument for Jerry Jones. I don't think so personally, but you can make the argument for Jerry Jones because he's making money off of these guys.
Hey, shout out to Jerry
kid.
Jones, man. He's a good owner. I'm just saying, bro. Don't like that virtue signaling, especially is what. Hold on. Can I speak? Can I speak? Because you're speaking over me now. A lot of people who are racist will do things like that to make themselves not seem racist, and that's why I'm going to say not everyone who does that is automatically not racist. Because a lot of people are doing it to prove that they're not racist. Bro. Just like, bro, you ever have a white friend who just is too friendly with you, and you're like, bro, do you just want to say that you have a black friend? Because that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm now your token black friend. And if you haven't been through that, it's just because you don't notice it when it does happen.
Bro,
Sometimes it
you're
does happen.
bugging.
Not
Like-
everybody has good intentions, and even some people who do have good intentions have bad backgrounds.
What's your
and that's
definition of
fine.
racist?
What do you mean, bro? Everyone's racist. Everyone's racist. I'm racist. You're racist.
Okay, so if with that logic, then
I'm not going out here and adopting a white kid to try to make it seem like I'm not racist. That's what I'm saying to you, bro. Some of these people are so out here virtue signaling that they do crazy things like that to try to prove that they're not what they actually are. And that's fine, bro. Because like you said, some of them are actually going to raise up the kid and be good. And I don't even think that's what happened with Kaepernick. I don't think that's what happened. I don't think his parents are racist. Do I think that they've said racist things to him because they grew up in racist environments that they were trying to get away from and prove that they don't accept that environment by adopting him? Yes. Does it become problematic? Maybe. But do I think that he should mention it? No. It's lame as fuck. But yes, when it comes to race relationships and all that stuff, bro, trying to act like you're perfect is the same as people who act like I don't see color. It's just like, bro, we all see color. We all have thoughts in our head that maybe we shouldn't. Of course, you try to overcome them, but it doesn't mean that they're not there. It's just like, bro, you're sexist. Like, you are sexist and misogynistic, right? It's just like, okay, cool, but you're going to have a daughter one day, right? And you're going to be good to her. You're going to be a good person to her and a good father to her, right?
Bro.
So the two things aren't connected.
But what
just
you're
because you're
saying-
slightly racist at one point in your life and then you go and adopt a black kid because you're trying to battle those demons doesn't mean that you're automatically not racist.
But what you're saying right now is exactly what you were just criticizing at the beginning of the podcast by switching definitions of shit. Like, a
How?
racist person isn't just a person that thinks of people differently. A racist person is someone that thinks of, like, black people as less than. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm saying
like,
a part of their psyche thinks that. A part of
Oh
part of
my
his
gosh,
parents'
that's some
psyche. Hold on.
bullshit,
A
bro.
part of his psyche clearly thinks that black people who get braids are less
No, 'cause all
professional.
these- yeah,
that's
less
what they said to
professional.
him. That's what they said to him. So how is that true if Allen Iverson is one of the greatest pro athletes of all time?
Allen Iverson is a professional athlete, though. He's not like like no one was saying he was
But
going to
this
be.
is what I'm saying. That's a Eurocentric mindset that they're coming with that has nothing to do with them consciously being racist. Their mind is colonized.
Yo, bro.
What do you want me to say?
That's like that CRT shit. That shit's all stupid.
CRT?
Like,
I don't even know what you're talking
critical race theory. It's like
Okay,
where like
that-
people are subconsciously racist. They don't even know it, and you can be racist, and you can like, you just don't even know what you're saying is
Of
racist.
course,
That's some bullshit. That's
How
like,
is that
that's straight
bullshit?
up bullshit,
Bro?
'Cause,
If a white person sits here and says, "Oh, can I feel your hair? Like, let me feel it. Like, let me touch
That's
it."
not
Oh,
racist.
I would have never imagined it had that texture. I
That's
thought it
curious.
was
That's
more
not
like
racist.
Brillo pad.
like-
But because of the connotation and the history of it, it is racist.
Wait, time out.
They just don't realize it's racist, and they're being racist on accident. That's what that whole movie, You People, was about. About white people being racist on accident.
When you had dreads, I did the exact same thing to you because I didn't know what dreads felt like.
Brother, I
Am
don't know what to tell
racist?
you. I thought it was a little racist. It was
Bro,
your Asian
I've
side
never,
show.
I've never felt dreads before.
it
I
was
didn't know if
your
they're thick or
Asian
nappy or
side
what.
show
So I
it.
went and felt them. That's just a curiosity thing. That's not a racist thing. I'm not like, oh, Jimmy, your hair's
It
so
was
nappy. It's
racist.
like, bro, that's not racist. Like,
It was
that's what I'm trying to
racist.
say. You guys, like, you were just complaining about it, and I was agreeing with you that people are switching definitions to fit their meanings of whatever they want to say, and now you're switching the definition of racist to just being like
your
to-
whole
for
thing,
this
bro,
example, curious.
Your whole thing is that for someone to be racist, they have to be 100%
No.
racist. My whole thing is like, bro, if someone has a couple racist thoughts that came from when they were 7 years old and someone told them some shit, and it might just be lingering in the back of their head, and they might have already pushed that thought out of their head, but sometimes it's gonna creep back into their head without them realizing. Like, let's say, for example, when you were a kid, like my dad always taught me, don't ever trust a man with no mustache. Now when I see dudes with a beard and no mustache, I don't trust them. And I can't help it. I can't help it. This is what was ingrained in me. That's what I'm saying. That's what happens to some people sometimes. Even when they try to get over it, it's going to still be lingering. So I'm not saying that they're KKK members. I'm just saying, yeah, he's probably right. They probably did say a couple racially insensitive things. Yes. Okay, maybe not racist. Maybe it was racist. Maybe it wasn't.
I feel
all
like
I'm
we're just-
saying
we're
is that
like
it doesn't
at this-
matter too much because they still raised him and did a good job.
But with
So you gotta
all
cut people
that,
some
it's like
slack.
I
Bro,
feel like you're just watering down what an actual racist is. So like when
No,
you
bro,
people,
even, like, hey, from my own father, I experienced some racism when it comes towards white people. My dad is black, and growing up, my dad used to tell me like, "Oh, you can't dance because white people have no rhythm. You must get that from your mother's side." Or, "Oh, you can't jump because you must get that from your mother's side." So I've experienced that same type of problematicness that he's talking about from both sides of my biracial parents. He's only been raised by white parents, so he doesn't know what it's like to have that full mixed experience. And I'm sure you've experienced that too, where both of your parents have said things about each other that's like, this is a little iffy. I don't really like that because I represent both of those things. And someone who doesn't represent both of those things won't catch every little thing that they're saying. I'm not saying that they're closeted KKK members. I'm just saying that they have some racist tendencies.
this
by
goes
accident.
back to the same thing we were just talking about with the AOC shit. It's like, yo, trolling and being serious are two completely different things.
You can't-
To say, oh, you can't jump, you must got that from your mom, that's a
No,
joke.
my dad was dead serious.
But that's
Dead
a
serious.
joke,
How are you
though.
telling me that? How are you telling me
Bro,
what my dad said was a joke or not? How are you telling me that?
Training,
Fam,
like,
you've seen me jump.
You can learn to jump.
You've seen me jump. Can I jump high?
But you can learn to jump. Like
Have you ever seen me dance?
No.
Because I'm shy. Because he always said I can't. It wasn't a joke, bro. Oh my God. Bro. But no, jokes aside, because that was a joke what I was doing. But he was that serious, and it wasn't that he was being malicious. My dad was never being malicious. My dad loves me so much, and I know that from the bottom of his heart. It's just that he saw the way that him and his brothers were growing up, and he's like, oh, you don't quite move exactly like how we did. It must be because you're mixed with this or that. Bro, just like if you have a kid and you're always bad at math, and everyone's a little racist. If you have a kid, right, and you're kind of bad at math, and you have a kid with an Asian girl, and then all of a sudden your kid is a whiz at math, you're like, oh man, that must be your mom showing.
That's just parenting. That's learning, teaching stuff. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. I feel like everyone's just conflating. I never even
said it's racist. I'm just saying that you're gonna say that you got that from your mom's side.
I get exactly what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, we're just conflating what being racist. We're diluting what the word means to make it not as impactful, in my opinion. I feel like
I think it should be
being called racist today is nothing compared to being called racist 10 years ago.
And that's fine.
But that's not fine. That's wrong.
I do think it's fine. I think that what the real problem is hate. Racism isn't actually the problem. We all notice differences in races, and we could all see them and identify them and notice observations, especially culturally.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. What is wrong is when you start to hate these things about these people, and you start to group them all together and say, I hate the way that they do this, and I hate the way it's hate is the problem, brother. It's not the racism. Noticing cultural differences between different races isn't an issue.
So that's where me and you differ then, because I take racism as a hatred towards. You just take racism as classification based off race. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, prejudice. Prejudice based off of race.
No, prejudice isn't the same thing as a classification. Prejudice means
man, I'm saying,
you're thinking less of it.
Bro.
Prejudice doesn't mean just showing the differences.
That's what I'm talking about, hate. Bro,
prejudice includes hate.
If I say,
includes,
bro,
thinking of the less
I'm going to say some racist shit. So give me a second to get some racist shit off my chest. No, as examples, right? And show you how this it's not necessarily hateful, but it's racist. So if you say some shit like, oh yeah, I heard all these Chinese people eat dogs. That's racist.
That's not racist.
Yes, it is.
They eat dogs. That's not racist.
I just said I heard that all these Chinese people eat dogs. All Chinese people do not eat dogs.
But to say, that's just classifying.
But that's how racism works. That's how it works. Except for the good ones. Except for the ones that don't eat dogs. I like those ones. Right? That's how it works, bro. Yo, these black guys all wear their pants below their asses. Except for the good ones. That's how it works, bro. That is racism. Now, to say what I said, the real issue, because at the end of the day, those things I just said are partially true. The real issue is hate. I hate how these black guys all wear their pants below their asses. Who do they think they are? They look like a bunch of thugs. That's that hateful racism. But bro, to make that observation, like, yeah, a lot of black guys wear their pants below their waist. It's a little racist. You don't want to get caught saying that, but it's the facts. It's just the facts.
But that's not that's what I'm trying to say. That I don't think that's racist.
So would it not be a little bit racist and problematic if your white mom said to you as your black adopted kid, don't be wearing your pants below your waist like all those other black guys. I don't want one of those black guys to be my son. No. I didn't raise you to be that way.
No, that's not racist.
Okay.
That's,
that's why
but that's not racist.
Sometimes people aren't going to see eye to eye. We would have to look up the exact definition of racism, and even then that's something from another person's mouth. Like I said, my whole thing is like when it comes from a hateful place, there's going to be times even when people are going to say racist shit to you like that. Like, oh, I don't want you to be one of those, da-da-da-da-da. And you're going to have to learn how to articulate yourself and explain where you're coming from, why you feel the way you feel.
That's just parenting. That's not racism.
Why do some people, stereotypically African Americans, wear their pants very low? Sack them. See, look, this is a racist response. I believe it's an affection that implies they've been to prison. It's racism.
No, man. That's just one person's opinion on it. Bro, to claim something.
That's actually that's actually rhetoric.
But
that's rhetoric.
Okay, but what I'm trying to say is stereotyping isn't racist.
Like, I just said the same thing as
you. I know. So when you're saying stuff like that, like, it's stereotypical. That's not racist. Like, those are two different things. To be racist against Asians is like you actually hate them. Like, you're not gonna, like, if someone goes into a Chinese store and be like, oh, is there any dog here? While eating their food, that's not racist. That's just a shit joke. But
shit,
like,
maybe I have to reevaluate it, bro.
Okay, let me ask you this then. Like, no,
I don't know what to say.
Okay, you know me. I have like a very, very like hard line on. I think anyone should be able to say whatever they want whenever they want. Type shit.
I agree. Okay. But just be prepared to get knocked the fuck out if I don't like what you say, or if someone else doesn't like what you say.
Do you think it's wrong, Or do you think it's racist if a white person says the N-word while singing a black person's song?
Oh, it's funny you brought this
Singing
up.
along.
I was going to talk to you about this today, actually. I have it in my notes to bring up non-black people saying the word nigga. I just seen a whole big conversation on this. Bro, growing up in the hood and shit, a lot of white niggas in the hood say nigga and shit, right?
Bro,
to
Fat
me,
Joe.
To
I
me,
couldn't tell if he's white or black.
Yeah, it's a cultural
or
thing.
Dominican.
And like a lot of old school black people are never trying to hear that shit. They're like, what the fuck you talking about? You sell it, da 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 da. Me personally, the way we grew up, it's like, bro, if you're a part of my culture and we're together every day and we're consuming the same content, we're feeling the same way, we're pretty much on the same page. Like you're my nigga, I'm your nigga. Like, you know, it's just when you never grew up with someone and they hit you with some shit like that, you're looking at them like, who'd you grow up with that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you be wondering type shit. But for the most part, me personally, I don't feel like white people should never be able to say that the like nigga and shit like that. But I just feel like if you're not a part of the culture, just kind of chill on that, like, you know. But even then, like, I don't know, I don't want to sound like too much of a sellout and shit. But bro, that shit doesn't bother me too much. I think niggas who get too worked up about that shit, bro, is like, just relax, fam. Because it's like, you're going to let someone say that to you one day, it's going to get you out your frame. And that's literally all they're trying to do is get you out your frame.
100% agree. Like, I feel like there's no word that's as triggering as, like, nigga or even harder or nigger. Yeah, like, to black people than any other race or culture even to say like, one thing that can, like, literally get you punched in the face for, like, on site. Like, that's
I feel
crazy.
Like even gay
that's
people,
a control thing.
Even gay people react better to, like, you know.
The F word?
Yeah, like, yeah. You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, like maggot or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, like, we really need to sometimes sit back and look at that shit. Like, bro, are they programming us to have a trigger that will land us in jail? Right now, how many niggas you think are in jail for punching someone after they said nigga?
Bro, when I was doing security as a bouncer, like, there were so many times where people would be like talking shit. You know the fight's not gonna go anywhere. And then a white guy would say something like, "Yeah, that's what I thought, nigga." Yeah. And then the guy snaps like instantly. Like, and then now you punch me first. I'm not liable. Shit like that.
Call
and
the
it's
cops
like,
and shit.
It's
they
like
know what they're doing.
They know it's a trigger word, and it's like I feel like in that connotation, 100% is racist. But I don't think just saying the word is. And I feel like when you take a word away from somebody, no matter what that word is, people are going to want to say it more and more and more. Yeah. So it's like, imagine being told
it has more power.
Exactly.
You know? Like,
so it's like
when they said don't say Voldemort, Harry was like, I'm gonna say that shit.
Yeah. So it's like, imagine being told from, like, let's say 10 years old and, like, at the minimum that you're not allowed to say nigga. Like, you know what I mean? You're gonna want to say it. That's probably why you always have those jokes of, oh, this white people when they're always together just say it. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it shouldn't be a trigger. But look at this video of Misha's playing.
No, I don't even want. No, don't show this one. Like, did you ever see? No, she doesn't say it in this one.
I was just saying. I was gonna comment on. See how this white girl went so viral just for rapping some lyrics that niggas rap all the time?
Yeah. No, but what I wanted to talk about was
that's like the fetishizing of the culture where it's like.
But that's not fetishizing. That's what you want to do as a culture. To make it big, you need to have the white audience.
I agree with you. I agree with you, but sometimes it's just weird how it's like just being white and rapping along to a song makes you go viral.
No, okay, so like I wanted to bring this one up because like this is actually like every time I bring up this,
I'm just curious about the psychology behind that and why.
No, just because she's a cute girl, bro,
it's
doing
the
it.
Eminem thing too, yeah.
She's a cute girl. She's rapping Lil Baby. Everybody's seen that clip. But what I'm trying to say is like, did you see the video when Kendrick picked a girl out of the crowd for one of his shows, said, "Okay, you rap my song."
He rapped about it on his new song.
And the girl said "nigga," and he's like, "Whoa, stop the show, stop the show." Why'd you say that? And it's like, bro, she's like in a sense worshiping your art. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. There's no, like, literally no negative racist connotation towards that. You said the word, she's repeating what you're saying. It's not her words.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's like, in a situation like that, how can you claim that, like, this person is being, like, even being racist or is a racist for just saying a word that she's worship, like, she's praising of a black, like, black art.
A lot of our reactions were programmed.
Yeah.
Like, we're programmed to react to that nigga word like that. And it's like, it takes a lot of overstanding to be like, wait. I'm not going to let no one get me out my frame. But a lot of niggas don't adhere to that because they feel like they're programmed to, if anyone says that, I am supposed to be on go. Mm-hmm. And it's like, even in this situation, it's like, I think it's just ignorance. It's like, bro, you don't realize that, like, what are you putting out into the world? Are you trying to make the world see things from your point of view? Because if it is your point of view, then she's just seeing your point of view, right?
Rapping as you.
That's why
like,
I like
it's not her
but
word.
His new song, he pretty much covered this, and he said, like, you heard the song?
No.
So it's a song about his aunt who
his tranny?
who became a man or something like that. And she was like, you could say faggot, it doesn't bother me. Say it as much as you want, but then you have to let white girls say nigga.
And
right?
He's saying how he messed up and he did that?
No, yeah. He was saying like letting words have power over you is actually fucked up because I know my aunt and she's cool as fuck. Pretty much what he was saying, like, you know, and like yeah, man, it's crazy. Like when we're programmed to have these certain reactions to shit, man. Sometimes you just gotta really sit back, like, and just think about it, man. Like just think about everything going on. And like I said, what do I say all the time? Divide and conquer. Yeah. This is another one of those things that's like divide and conquer. To say to a whole group of people, you can't say that. It's just like, bro,
I would even make the argument that it's like if I was like, let's say there was like an Illuminati or like a higher power people. If I was dumb and it was a group of white people saying, what's the dumbest thing we can make black people say over and over and over again, then let them think it's their word.
No.
Be like,
we did that.
Stop this. That's stupid.
The origin of the word is they got it from us.
No, the origin of the word is black.
No.
Yes,
no.
it is.
Where do you think they got that from?
No, the color black is the origin of the word.
Negro. Yeah, that's what they started calling it. Yes, okay.
Like that.
Okay, but brother, do you know that we were calling each other negus?
Yeah.
Negus. It's an African word.
N-E-G-U-S.
Yes, we've been calling each other. And that's why
Kendrick song.
They just took that and flipped it. They're like, why do they call each other that? Fucking niggers? That's fucking weird. That's what they call each other? Niggers? That's how they said it. That's all it was, bro.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say.
So it's just like how you see females taking bitch and making it a term of endearment. Except there's not as much behind it, so it's not as powerful, but it's just the same shit. And even like, bro, it's funny. The other day, my father-in-law, he was like, oh, you know, he's like, you know, I hear you say that nigga word all the time, just randomly out of nowhere. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, this nigga never says no shit like this. Like, you know, he's like, I've been hearing you say it a lot lately. Like, you know, he's like, how would you feel if I said it? And I could tell like he was kind of worked up. Yeah. And I was like, what type of right-wing media is this nigga watching, right? But at the end of the day, I told him like, hey, bro, like, end of the day, me and my friends, we say it because that's our thing. That's how we deal with the pain. That's how we deal with the trauma, right? Just to put it simply, like, as a cultural thing, right? But I said to him, like, bro, like, whatever you feel comfortable. Like, if you feel comfortable saying that, then you should say it.
Nah.
Like, if you feel uncomfortable saying it, then that's why you shouldn't say it. And
I wouldn't even say that,
he's from Scotland. He's not gonna feel comfortable saying nigga. That's not in his vocabulary. That's what I was saying to him. It's like, bro, if you were from where I was from, you would say it.
Yeah.
But you're not, so that's why you don't feel comfortable.
So, like, I have a lot of white friends.
It's just that simple.
I have a lot of white friends, and, like, the thing, like, if they ever did say that to me or ask me my opinion of what, like, do you think that I'm allowed to say that? I always do, and I always will tell them, like, I don't mind myself, but I don't speak for every black man.
Yeah,
so it's like my reaction won't be everybody else's reaction.
Exactly.
It's like, I'm okay with it. I don't mind it, but I do understand that there are going to be people that do. So I'm not going to give you the green light to go say it, and then you'd be like, "Oh, TJ gave me the nigga pass." It's like, nah, that's not how we're moving.
Because white boys really be wanting that nigga pass. Like they really just want to say nigga.
This guy Gideon made a whole video about that shit, giving white people the nigga pass.
Yeah, it's super funny, but it's like, man, like if you really grew up with someone, like, it is what it is. It's like one of those things. Like it's a cultural thing, man. The same way, like if you're close enough to with a female, like, what up, bitch? Like, and even I'm talking about even in like a heterosexual platonic type friendship, you like sometimes a guy will be that close with a girl where you could say shit like that, or like, oh, what
that's
up,
my bitch,
big head, or like, you know, like stank, like, you know, so because it's like it shows that you have that closeness with somebody that you could say shit that's a little off, but yeah, just be careful with it. And I just feel like, I don't know. Sometimes I don't get why some people want to say it so bad. Even growing up, like I said, in the hood, there were certain white dudes saying it, and like it was almost like they said it more than everybody else. Like they wanted to say it so bad. I don't know, man. I like you just said, I'm not the authority for all black people. Exactly. I just know me personally, it doesn't bother me, and I just feel like if someone started saying it weirdly around me, I'm like, nigga, relax. Like, relax.
Do you think Colin Kaepernick's parents are allowed to say it?
No, I think Colin Kaepernick's parents aren't even allowed to fucking celebrate Thanksgiving anymore. That nigga has them wearing dashikis and shit. Like, that nigga is too much, bro. That nigga needs to relax.
Let's go. Last story. Chris Rock's new special. Did you end up watching it or not?
I went to turn it on. Even before you asked me to watch it, bro, I went to turn it on because this is a big thing. And it was even live streamed, but I caught it the day after it was live, right? Yeah. And I went to go watch it. And then I remember I just seen him, like, right in the intro, I was like, wait a minute. I just forgot this nigga is not funny. Like Chris Rock has not made me laugh since like 2010. If not, he's not in Rush Hour. That's Chris Tucker.
Oh shit,
that's what I'm saying. His only movie that ever really made me laugh like that was Down to Earth.
Oh, that was an amazing movie.
Amazing movie. That's peak Chris Rock. Yeah. He had one more where I think he was like, he had a twin brother and they were president or something like that. It was decent. It was okay. But for the most part, he does not make me laugh. And like, he really, it's funny that one episode in The Office where Michael is going off about his joke about black people and what we were just talking about and how there's niggas and niggers. And it's like, yeah, I find like he really makes comedy for white people. Like it's black comedy for white people. And that's not nothing bad. That's nothing bad.
I would say that's more Kevin Hart's lane than Chris Rock.
Kevin Hart is commercial. It's supposed to be for everybody. But Chris Rock is literally, he's not I'm being real, bro. I don't feel like he's making comedy for niggas.
Bro,
you ever see the sketch where he said, if you have a black son, you're supposed to punch him in the face at least once a week?
Bro,
like that's just not
Dave
funny.
Dave Chappelle makes same jokes like that too.
I swear to God, when Dave Chappelle could fart and I'm gonna laugh my ass off, bro. That nigga is hilarious.
So it doesn't matter if you don't like him or
no,
not.
No, I'm telling you, no. Like, the fart thing is that's arbitrary. I'm saying Dave Chappelle, whenever he's on stage, actually makes me laugh and be introspective. He makes me think about a lot of shit that I never thought about before he brought it up. Chris Rock doesn't do none of that.
Who's your Mount Rushmore of comedy then? Like your top 4?
Well, Dave Chappelle.
No order.
Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor. I want to say like Eddie Griffin or like Martin Lawrence. Maybe even those 5.
So you don't even listen to any white comedians. No Bill Burr. No
I do
Mark
listen
Norman.
to them. I do listen to them, but like they're just not as good. They're not as funny. But that could be a cultural thing
Yeah,
too, bro.
for
If
sure,
I was a
'cause
white
it's
guy, I
more
probably
relatable
would
and shit.
put up more white guys.
I don't know. I think
and Seinfeld is the biggest comedian in the world.
I
And
don't like Seinfeld.
I do like. Is it Bill Burr? I think I like Bill Burr
Burr
a
is
lot.
The redhead, yeah.
Yeah.
He's fucking hilarious. Like
Bill Burr.
he's a redhead from Boston.
Who's the bald one?
Louis C.K. No,
Louis C.K. is the redhead.
No, Louis C.K. is a Mexican dude, bro.
What are you
Louis
talking
C.K.
about?
is
You don't know
Mexican,
who Louis
bro.
C.K. is. Louis C.K. is this guy.
Yeah. Oh, he's not even Mexican.
What's wrong with
But he's
you?
not, bro. That's not Bill. I know.
Bill Burr doesn't have red hair. He has no hair.
Bill Burr is a redhead, bro.
He has no hair. Talk about his beard. That's gay. Don't mention a man's beard hair color.
Bill Burr's hilarious. He's in my Mount Rushmore for sure.
I would put him up there too. But that's people get so caught up with the Mount Rushmore. It has to be 4 people. I would just put 6 people on my Mount Rushmore and have him up there.
That's down to Mount Rushmore then. I'm
Even
just
I'll put
asking
up
for 4.
a little bit of George Lopez. No,
he's not that funny. But no, so I don't know.
I'm just trying to think about non-black comedians who I like. I don't know. They're not as funny, to be real with you.
No, I like guys like Mark Norman. He's fucking hilarious. He's a new up-and-coming one from New York. Andrew Schultz is fucking hilarious.
They're funny, but bro, the dudes I just named are titans.
My top 4, my Mount Rushmore would probably be Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, Mark Norman, and Andrew Schultz probably. I would say that.
I'll say Cedric the Entertainer is funnier than them last 2
that was
you named.
before my time.
Like he's not even that funny. That's why I was saying it. He's just like he's cool.
I don't even think Joe Rogan's funny. I think like
the Fathers of Comedy, they had the swag and they knew how to sell out shows. And also Bernie Mac. I gotta clear out a few names off my Mount Rushmore and Bernie Mac going on. Bernie Mac is hilarious. You ever watch a Bernie Mac stand up?
Yeah, it's not that funny. I think he goes in like the same category as like Kevin Hart for me. I don't like Kevin Hart that much. I'll watch it though. Like I always watch it. But this Chris Rock one is fucking hilarious. And it's like it was so highly anticipated because everybody wants to hear the first thing he has to say about.
I saw the
Will
joke.
Smith.
That wasn't funny. He said this person called him a bitch and that person called him a bitch and this person called him a
bitch. Said he
bitch.
saw the joke. He went in for like 10 minutes.
I just thought it wasn't funny, bro. That's the punchline of the joke. I just think the nigga's not funny. Everybody has to be entitled to their own opinion.
No, of course.
It's like if it's like a singer and I don't like their voice, it's like it's never gonna do it for me. And the thing with Chris Rock is that everybody hates Chris is good.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a good voice actor. In
that was the first time like Terry. What's his name?
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews was on like a big show. And then I saw him on 9-0 after that.
Like Chris Rock is
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
He's good at what he does too, and I even like him in like Grown Ups and stuff. With that stuff he does with like Adam Sandler and them.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's him being himself. He's the black guy in a white group of friends.
Nah, I don't like
okay,
that
I'm just telling you that is actually who he is. And when you see him being himself, it's like, oh, okay, now I understand it, and I'll leave him to be in that lane. And he's funny, like for what he is. It doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I liked it. It was a really obviously no matter what. Like I was saying, no matter what happens, if the whole stand up was good or not, the special, this was gonna do numbers regardless because of the whole Will Smith.
And it's the first ever live streamed thing on Netflix ever.
That was just extra because even the special he makes 2 mistakes and he like calls himself out on it.
That's
so
sick. It's the first live stream thing ever on Netflix. They've never even done a concert. They did a stand up thing first. That's so cool.
like I thought that was pretty cool. Like and I was like, there's no way. I don't know how much he made off of it, but there's no way that this wouldn't be the highest paid special of all time. because it's the first Chris Rock special in how long? Like, you know what I mean?
you're probably right.
He's been hiding, and then it's like the most anticipated. He had the biggest hook of all time, and like the fucking most viral shit of Will Smith slapping you.
But that's why it's just like, yeah, like it's just a numbers thing. Like it's not super. It's not the best comedy.
That's why I said, regardless if it was gonna be good or not, he's gonna put up numbers.
I'm not knocking him. Like shout out to Chris Rock for doing his thing, especially like. I like to see it when a black man is kind of down. Everyone was clowning him. All right, cool. Get back up there. Show them that you're still you. You know, I like that. But bro, they'll let you know right now. If Eddie Murphy were to ever come back to stand-up comedy, he would break every record that
Eddie
ever
Murphy's
existed.
funny.
He's hilarious, and he hasn't done stand-up comedy in like 30 years.
Talking about comedians, I was watching Joe Rogan this week. Not a funny comedian, but a great go podcaster.
Just one thing I thought about just there. Could you imagine if Netflix started playing concerts? How much money that would like generate for the artist?
No,
that would be such a good news stream.
How would you divvy that up?
What do you mean? All the money goes to the freaking artist. What do you mean?
What does Netflix get from that?
Obviously Netflix takes their usual fee. Bro, it's revenue that wasn't going to be there before, and you live stream it. And you just do one show.
Put that shit on YouTube now. Like you can see like all of
But I'm saying like a big artist like Travis Scott or Billie Eilish or Drake or someone would be like Netflix, let's do an event. Yeah, that shit would go crazy.
It can only be like a one-off. It couldn't be a consistent thing.
No, it'd be a one-off, 100%, just like the Chris Rock thing.
It's gonna be like every time like every big tour. Like,
I think they're starting to think about that because live events with that platform, because that platform is in everyone's house,
connecting everybody.
Netflix.
Yeah, well now they're trying to kick everybody out of their house by one account type shit. Yeah, so I was saying about Joe Rogan, he had this actual ex NFL player Derek Wolfe on his podcast. And
he's a defensive tackle, right?
Defensive tackle. He's played for the Broncos for like 8-9 years.
He was pretty good.
He was all right. He was just like a very good, like a
very good
player.
Role player. A role player who you always thought is he going to become a star?
He wasn't a star, but he was a starter, and he was
always a starter,
and
a
always
playmaker.
Up there.
He makes plays.
He's a run stopper, so you don't really. He's not a household name, right? So he's not sacking the quarterback.
But I remember him. He was good. He was good.
But on the podcast, they got in a really, really, really interesting conversation because he never knew his dad. His mom was like a drug addict, and she doesn't know who she was sleeping with at the time when she got pregnant and shit. And he ended up doing like psychedelic therapy to try to like unlock unconscious subconscious memories and shit. So
when he was a sperm?
No, even before that. So like it goes deep. It's like
wait, what?
So he was saying
before he was a sperm?
Yeah. So like ancestors' memories of living like his living grandparents and shit.
I've heard about this type of shit. The archives.
Yeah. So he like went through this therapy where they held his eyes open, put him in a trance, and the therapist was just asking questions and questions over and over again. He's fully in a trance, and then he said he started daydreaming, and when he was daydreaming, he remembered the times of being a Viking, and he remembers being on a boat with leaving his wife, and then they went on to a mission, and he was with his brother, and his brother ended up killing him. And then he went, like, after all that, he's like, no, that's so weird, blah, blah, blah. When it did, what was it, the DNA thing? The 30andMe or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he went and did that blood testing, the genetic shit, and then he found out that he has, like, very, very strong Nordic genes. And he's like, he never knew any of that before, and he's like, he had this full-on memory as an ancient, like, as a Viking. And I was so they ended up getting into this deep conversation about animals pass down memories. You know what I mean? So it's like
because their instincts are so strong.
Not even
it's like they've been here before.
It's like you could have a house cat for 20 years. The second that house cat sees a mouse run through your house, never killed an animal before.
It's instincts. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So it's like, how much of that shit is embedded in us?
Birds flying south. It's like. The fuck?
Yeah.
How the fuck do you even stay south the whole time? Like,
bees literally waking up and building a colony. That's their whole life. They build a colony. There's one queen that they answer to. Like all of that shit.
A lot of animals are born knowing how to walk.
Like,
we're actually stupid when it comes to
there was also this study that happened. They did it like in New York and LA. And like they were working together. They built a maze in New York. The mouse took like 3-4 days to learn how to do the maze. Yeah. And then they did that exact same maze in LA, and a mouse did it instantly. So they're trying to say like
they're all connected
in some way, shape, or form. Nobody understands how. So when Joe Rogan and Derek Wolfe were talking about this, they were saying like they think that like psychedelics and stuff like that are keys to like not just
understanding those things.
Yeah, not just to understand those things, but they're like keys to open up the value type shit. Mm-hmm. And I was wondering because I never done like mushrooms or LSD or none of that shit. And I know you got into that shit when you were making music.
Yeah, one day we got to do shrooms, man. You'll love it. You'll love it.
No, I'm not against it.
Everybody who's done shrooms, except for fucking pussies, love it.
I'm not against it, but I want to know like what your views on that is. Like that's like the subconscious human like tendencies is.
Yeah, I mean, well, even the archives that he was talking about that they were trying to access and stuff, I've heard about that where it's like everything is in recorded history more or less, but in the mental, like metaphysical world, you know, and we could all unlock it and tap into it. It's very hard. You have to meditate and stuff like what he did, right? How they helped him do that. And so I believe in all that stuff, man. I think that like this world is so much more spiritual and metaphysical than people give it credit for. People think so much of like it's just the physical, and it's just like, man, that is crazy talk. Like you see so much miracles happen every day, and I see them from all religions, all walks of life. Everyone who seeks God finds him. I find that's my belief, because I don't think that he's some mysterious person who's trying to keep a secret from us and he's hidden in one specific book. I think that we're all talking about the same God and stuff, and people have had different experiences. Even I think Joe Rogan say this too, where the burning bush that Moses found,
it was a mushroom or
like a DMT plant,
yeah,
you know, and stuff like that.
Bush.
Go look at the experiences that people say they have on DMT and ayahuasca and all these things. It's all supernatural. It's all spiritual. None of it is like, you know, like the way that it gets pitched to you, like, you know, like as if it's like dark or evil or something that's gonna make you act crazy. Like, man, when you do shrooms, first of all, everything gets a little more vivid. Like all the blues and the greens are just that much more vivid. Everything bright's a little brighter, and like you just have this like euphoric feeling, like you're at peace. Well, maybe that more is for me because it helped me be at peace with certain things, but it definitely helped me find peace, and it gave me a lot of epiphanies, especially just about love and stuff like that. That's why like people are like, oh, like you're so cool, you're so chill, but it's like I wasn't really always like this actually. Like a lot of like when I did shrooms or I talked to different people and stuff like that, my mind started slowly getting open to different things, and it's like that's why the psychedelics are so powerful, because in our older age, bro, we become so stuck in our ways, so stuck in what we believe and what we think is right and wrong. And it's like, bro, like sometimes when you do like those psychedelics and stuff, it'll just make you feel like your idea of right and wrong might be the opposite of someone else's. And is that person wrong for just having a different belief system than you, or whatever the fuck? Just a million different specters that you'd be looking at things from so many different points of view, and you'd be like just having so much respect for other people and what they're going through in their mind and their brain and their journey called life, you know? And it's like just stuff like that. It just gives you a lot of epiphanies and just understanding and just empathy. It makes you very empathetic for other people, which is, I think, is a good thing. And I think that everyone should take that and have that in their life, especially politicians, bro. These politicians don't care about people. But you can't do stuff like shrooms and stuff like that and not care about people. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work like that.
No, for sure. I always, like, I don't know. I'm not against psychedelics in the slightest. I just haven't done it myself. Like, I haven't found a need to do it yet.
Puss.
But no, I found this just so interesting because, like, I remember I was reading about this thing that the Nazis were doing and the ancient Egyptians, where they would take these kids. They took like 5-6 kids and put them with. So in the Egyptian times, they put it with a mute shepherd. So the shepherd was raising the kids like from literally baby age, and they wanted to find out if there would ever be a universal language to humans. Because you know how like monkeys all have their own language, dolphins have their own language, cats, like they could all communicate. All these animals can communicate with each other no matter where they're from and shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, why can't humans? Because we have like English, Chinese, Indian, like all these different dialects.
Apparently, the Tower of Babel is going on.
No, of course. But I'm saying, like, I understand the story of the Tower of Babel, but it's like nowadays, it's like, would there be a universal language? Like, it's nodding your head, yes, universal through all cultures. It's just like shaking hands, like, you know what I mean? There's like is that a greeting in every culture? And it's like, it's interesting to think because both those conclusions by the Nazis and the ancient Egyptians, they both were inconclusive. So apparently the study from the ancient Egyptians got burnt up in the Library of Alexandria, and then the Nazis, World War II happened or whatever. Yeah. So it's like both those didn't finish, and they would never replicate it now because it's unethical to raise kids like that, right?
In the Vatican, I bet you they still have the fucking files.
Oh, for sure. But, they have all of that shit.
I would say, for one, everyone's different. Some people will probably be able to adapt to that, some wouldn't. But they say like 70% of what we say is nonverbal anyways.
But is nonverbal universal?
Yeah, like your body language and your tone and shit. But the thing is that when we're speaking, our tone does a lot. So if you're not speaking, what tone is there to derive from, right? But I think a lot of what we say doesn't even need to be said. Like, think about it, bro. Like, if we know every morning we get up to go do something and it becomes a part of your routine, it doesn't take much words to get you going. Like, you know, like it really doesn't. Yeah. You know what time it is, you know?
Yeah. All right. So we had one question again from the fans this week from Kalaya. She asked, is Adidas wrong for dropping Kanye knowing he had a mental illness? So now that we're in like this whole, like we were talking about the last episode, how like mental illness is playing such a role. Oh, and I have to say, actually, my sister got mad at me for saying that mental illness isn't real. I need to reiterate that I think mental illness is real, and that just people are playing off of it and taking advantage of the situation rather than saying everything blanket is wrong.
Yeah.
So
and most people going through mental illness actually don't use it as a crutch. It's the people who aren't going through it.
Yeah,
that
so
use
I
it
have
as a
to say,
crutch.
my sister made me put that in because she said I was wrong for saying that. So
Yeah.
I apologize. But with all that going on, do you think Adidas is wrong? Because Kanye, regardless of what he said, he's diagnosed as a bipolar, right?
Yeah.
So if he's going through an episode, how is Adidas socially accepted that he can drop a...
No, that's not Adidas' responsibility to make sure they keep a crazy person on the brand, especially if he's doing stuff detrimental to their company.
But
You don't get
are we trying to promote mental illness? And
I
like,
get
normalize
that.
it and shit?
I get that. Especially as a society, that's what we need to be focused on. As a corporation, is that what they need to be focused on? No, I don't think they got to where they
But
were
you don't think a
by taking
corporation's
crazies
like
along.
Like a
Not to call-
corporation's
not
like
to-
a
not- hold on,
reflection
not-
of society?
No.
What?
It's a business, but also not to just dismiss Kanye as crazy. I'm saying from their point of view, they're looking at it like, no, he's a liability. But I just think that they're wrong, not because of mental health. I think they're just wrong because
But couldn't
he's
they
just
come
so
out with
he's just so creative that
But-
he was good for their brand.
But couldn't they come out? I agree with that. But I'm saying, like, for the mental health aspect, couldn't they come out and be like, we believe that Kanye is having a mental break right now. What he's saying, we do not stand behind, and Adidas does not support these things that are saying during this episode. Instead of, well, this guy's crazy, let's fire him.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but even then, that would just fuel the fire of conspiracies of people saying they're cloning him, they're brainwashing him, all that type of stuff, right? And look at him; he looks heavily medicated. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say with Kanye. It's one of those things where it's like it's so deep celebrity culture and all this, like, you know.
Yeah, but I just guess she was asking from like that's a perspective she saw.
Yeah,
it
from
as
the
is,
mental
like,
health perspective, I think
that is
it's,
wrong.
It's
right?
not. No, I think
Because
it's
we
not.
were saying, like last episode, we were saying like you shouldn't be just taking like the schizophrenics and kicking them out of society. And I guess you're saying a corporation and society are separate. But
I'm saying you shouldn't take them and kick them out of society. But if someone's schizophrenic and they stab somebody, you have to put them away.
no, of
Maybe
course.
not in jail, but in like a high
But that's
security
essentially what they're
mental
doing.
facility.
They're putting him in like social jail. Like you're firing, you're taking away
That's
his
what I'm
living
saying.
type shit. Like, you know?
It's not directly comparable because it's a business. They're trying to make money. They're not trying to feed people and
But
change
if we're
the
in
world.
an era,
and-
if we're in an era where we're supposed to be supporting mental illnesses, why are we letting corporations get off?
I
with
always
just
say that
ostracizing them.
these corporations are virtue signaling. Like they're not
Yeah.
really virtuous like that. They're just doing whatever is hot at the time. If next week all broccoli lives matter, all these corporations will be saying all broccoli lives matter. Like it's that simple. Like
Yeah.
you know.
All right. Well, that's been another episode of Northern Ruckus. Hope you guys liked it. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok,
Yeah,
all
man.
those good things.
Hey, stay tuned, man. If you guys want to argue in the comments, we could do that. We could do that. We could go back and forth in the comments too. If you guys don't agree with what we're saying, let us know, man. Whatever it is.
Yes, sir. That's it. Peace.
Peace.